everyone, welcome back to Prayers to the Father, Abba Yah. I got another treat for you. Another video. White woman proves Jesus was black. This is interesting. But go ahead and click that like button and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and enjoy this video.
Jesus was black. Don't have a heart attack. Shalom. My name is Ronette Brooks. First and foremost, I want to say all praises to the Most High. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I want to just wish blessings for everybody that supported the last video that we did. We've done 2 now. This will be the 3rd. So what I want to do in this video is prove, based on the word, that the Messiah and his people were melanated. Okay. So I have had a lot of conversations with my people and just with Christians in general. You know, my ex-husband's father is a Christian black man, and he said the exact same thing to me that the apple of my eye baby sister said, that my best friend in Puerto Rico said. It doesn't matter who I'm talking to when I'm talking to Christians. It doesn't matter what language I'm speaking. It can be English, it can be Spanish. They say the same thing. El color del piel no importa. The color of the skin is not important. I know you guys have heard this. And this is what I would say to that. You're right, the color doesn't matter. The color didn't matter, wasn't supposed to matter, but somebody whitewashed the color. The color changed. So what we're gonna do today, just in this short a video as I can make, we're gonna just use the word to walk through and see what we know about color, and then we're gonna put that aside, and then we'll come back and talk about it being whitewashed. And that was the problem. The whitewashing of the color, the deception behind the Messiah's physical appearance was a problem. And I don't know who wants to love the King of Kings with all your heart. You know, I can do all things through Christ. He knows every hair on my head. You love him so much, but you're not interested in his physical appearance and how he lived. That doesn't make any sense. All right, so the first thing that we want to do is jump into a physical description of the Messiah. So the physical description of the Messiah is found in just a few words in Revelation. In Revelation 1:13, we read, "And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they had been burned in a furnace." The description gives us 2 physical markers: hair, wool like hair, and feet like furnace burned brass. So let's talk about those. The hair is compared to wool for texture, not for color. Wool refers to coarse, thick, tightly curled hair, a known negroid hair phenotype. The color is actually white like snow. So the color of snow and the color of wool are 2 different things, right? Like wool was for hair texture, white as snow was for hair color, intensity, and brightness. Let's talk about wool. Wool's not really pure white like snow. It's matte, off-white, cream, brown, black, speckled, depending on the animal, but it's never reflective like snow. So when John says white like wool and white as snow, he is not repeating himself. He is clarifying and describing texture and color. All right. Now, at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and propose that we have a melanated Messiah. We got the woolly hair, we got the brown feet, we got the brown, bronze, dark feet. And I don't know, I guess I'm amazed. I don't know if this happens to everybody, but having read this back in 2007, I see it all the time. I see older women. I have a lot of female patients that, have let their hair grow out. They don't color their hair. They're the so-called African American or black, whatever term you guys like the best. And, they're Israelites is what I'm going to say. But their hair's grown out and it's white like wool. And it's white like snow. It's like wool and snow. But anyway, it's the Bible is so much more alive when you know who the chosen people are. It's amazing to see people walking around that make you remember the word. But anyway, I propose that based on this, the Messiah is a black man, a Negro. Okay? Now, we're going to back it up. Let's go into Egypt. So, we know that Jacob had 12 sons. We know that one day 11 of his sons decided to sell Joseph, and Joseph went into Egypt. Joseph had, the Most High had favor on Joseph, but somebody lied on him, a woman lied on him, and he ended up going to prison for 2 years. So I don't know how long he was working and things were going well before that woman lied, but I know that he was in prison for 2 years. I read that in the Torah portion last 2 weeks ago. And we learned in this past Torah portion that they were a couple of years into the famine when we see Joseph's brothers coming to unite with him. They don't know that it was him, okay? They bow before him and they think that they are in front of a Egyptian ruler. So they are looking at an Egyptian. Another way that we could say that is they're looking at an African. Egypt is in Africa. And it's very hard to get ChatGPT to say that ancient Egyptians were black, because ChatGPT basically says, get out of here with that nonsense. They don't think like that. That's an American construct. It's just like the Egyptians don't think in that construct. That's an American construct. A U.S. construct is what ChatGPT said. But I think we all know that the people that are born in Africa, the native people to Africa, are dark-skinned, melanated people. It's really, really cool. The Israelites were there for 430 years, and the only two Israelites that we see being confused for Egyptians are the one going in and the one coming out. It's almost like the Most High wanted us to know we're melanated going in and we're melanated coming out. Because Joseph on the way in, they thought they were seeing an African. Moses on the way out. Moses was the baby that was pulled out of the Nile and passed for an Egyptian, because there was a rule out that all Hebrew children had to die. Pharaoh's daughter found him, did not want to kill him, and wanted him to live, so she passed him off as an Egyptian, and Moses was raised as an Egyptian in Pharaoh's house. So even after there's an incident where Moses loses his temper and kills somebody and flees to the wilderness, and shepherds see him in the wilderness, and they go home and they tell their father about the Egyptian. So they're looking at Moses and they're seeing an Afrocentric Egyptian man. All right, so now we can confirm melanated going in and melanated coming out. After we get out, couple generations in, we got a next generation down. I think probably the Exodus has already happened and about to receive the Torah, but Aaron's grandson's on the scene. Aaron's grandson's name was Phineas. Phineas means the Negro, or the Negro. If you're going to say it in English, the Negro. If you look the word up, it's an Egyptian linguistic root, and it means the dark one or the Negro. But the cool thing is it can also mean the dark bronze colored one. I thought that was a cool little connection. But this is, I'm in the wilderness, still melanated. Now let's move ahead 1,500 years, and now the Messiah is here, and we've got disciples and we got teachers that have followed the Messiah, and one of them was Simeon. In Acts 13:1, we read, there were in the church at Antioch prophets and teachers, Barnabas and Simeon, who was called Niger. Niger is Latin for black. No scholars anywhere think that this was his name. They think that it was not a family name. It was a nickname because he apparently was very dark. And so he was called Niger. Niger is the Latin word that we get the derivative Negro from, or Negro in Spanish. That's where it comes from. It's a description of appearance. It's not clothing or ideology. Simon was a teacher. Simon was a prophet. Simon was an Israelite by blood, as was Aaron's son. Remember, Aaron, the grandfather of Phineas, was a Levite. So Phineas was a Levite. All right, so we got two bloodline Israelites, one on the break of Exodus and starting to climb, and then one at the time of Messiah. Kind of the two ends of another time period. We've got the grandson of Aaron being called the Negro, and we've got Simeon being called Niger. We have an apostolic era Israelite leader, first century, being called the Black One. He's accepted. He's an Israelite, and he's a black man. All right, now let's just talk a little bit about the nation, okay? Messiah comes from the tribe of Judah. Phineas was in the tribe of Levi. Joseph was the tribe of Judah, or not the tribe of Judah, but the one of the tribes of Israel. Joseph was a line of one of the brothers of Judah. So we've got several tribes being represented here, and they're all dark. This was a nation of people from Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. And this was a nation of people that had the same type of skin color. These people were black people. They were melanated people. They were dark bronze people, however you want to put it. They came out of Jerusalem in 70 AD when it fell black. They go to West Africa. They live there for I'm going to say about 1,300 years. No, let's say 70. No, it would have been a little longer than that. But they were there approximately 1,500 years, I think. They left their mark, their language, they left an impact. We know they were there. I truly believe that there are some still there in the Igbo. But anyway, yeah, I think that the word I think it's very important. We got the beginning of Egypt, the end of Egypt, the beginning of the journey into the land, and then the Messiah. At each point, we get a look at Israelites to see their skin tone. Yeah, it didn't matter. It wasn't about color, but the whitewashing of the color did matter. I wanted to try and take a minute to address a couple of comments quickly. I don't have any other videos. Several people have reached out wanting to know about my other videos that I was interested in just serving Israel. And I was given the opportunity to do that first video, and we're just taking it one step at a time, one video at a time. And I am hoping that this one's going to be a part two, though. This video that we're going to do is kind of have a second part. So I don't have videos. I am not working for TGC, for Deacon and Hassad. I am just serving Israel with what I know, and it's blessed me more than probably it will any Israelites. But did I already say thank you to the women that reached out and taught me to cover my head? Thank you very much. And I heard your words, and I appreciate your kindness. And people left in the comments, for your own good, sis, you need to cover your head. And some people found me on Facebook, and I just really appreciate the love. I really appreciate the instruction. And so the other thing I wanted to say very quickly to the mostly men that are saying things like, great, this is nauseating. We've been telling people this for 20 years and we get ridiculed. And now, this white woman says it and it's 3,000 thumbs up. I'm dealing with your flock that you've already taught. The people that are watching these videos right now and sharing them are people that know that this is the truth. Hopefully this is a tool that somebody can use to show a family member that won't listen to them why. Because I'm white and I'm special, that's not it at all. There's something that happens to all people, and the saying is, familiarity breeds contempt. When somebody that you're close to when two family members try to have a conversation about religion or politics, it gets ugly. And it doesn't matter what color you are. When you start trying to change things about religion, politics, or diet, it gets, familiarity breeds contempt. So if it makes you feel any better, my people won't hear me. I've been out of the church since 2007. I've not had one Shabbat with a family member other than my children when I first came out of the church and they were still home. But I did leave it for 5 years. I had an event happen in my life where I was not keeping the Shabbat or reading the book, and had cut a lot of prayer out. And that was a really dark time for me. I'm back in the Word and digging in and never going to walk away from it again. One guy said, yeah, but did she talk about this to her friends? I don't really have any friends. White people really don't want to hear what I got to say, but I'm praying that some Gentiles out there will listen to this. And I really am concerned about the people that are in the Christian church. So I'm hoping that these videos will go. I've sent them to all the white people that I know. But yeah, I did I tell y'all this already? I have my little black Messiah that I put on my desk at work, and secretly enjoy the fact that I kind of troll my coworkers with it. But this is not anything that I try to hide from like some other life or anything. This is real. This is from the heart, and something that I study on a lot. So I hope that everybody's on board with me at this point. If there are any Christians listening to this, I really encourage you to get to know your Messiah and to get some things straight and to undo the doctrines of men. I just thank you all for your time. Thank you for sticking to the end. And don't forget to leave comments and ideas of if there's anything that anybody wants to see. We're going to do some of these, okay? And it's my honor. All praises.